Welcome to Basketball Heads Live. I am your host, Glenn Poole Harding, and tonight we have a very special guest. This basketball head is a Troy High School All-City great who has built his reputation up in New York City, as we say, at least on my end. He is a third-team All-State performer who averaged 19.6 assists, 5 rebounds for his high school career. This basketball head talent has led him to prep school after high school, something that I did at MCI, but he went to the competition, St. Thomas More. It's a tough school, man, tough school. Then after prep school, he received a scholarship to attend Sacred Heart University, where he was a standout player. It wasn't until the Tracy McGrady new one-on-one league where he showed all of New York City and upstate just where he stands as a baller, coming in second place after being seeded ninth. He literally shot his way to the finals with his amazing jump shot. Now, you already know we had Troy High School greats like Tiki Maybin, who has been on the show. So you already know this guest can give it up. So without further ado, help me welcome to the show, Troy High School great, St. Thomas More Sacred Heart University standout, and New York City OBL finalist, Zack Radz.
Y'all ready? Yes. You have just stepped into the world of chaos, where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Or go home. Never back down. You gotta hold your own. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. East Coast. Go hard. West Coast. Go hard. Midwest. Go hard. Dirty. Hurry up, everybody. Get online, buy your tickets, cause the game about to start.
The building.
Oh, man.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Everything's good. It's a pleasure to be on here. I really appreciate the opportunity.
No doubt. You catch that intro?
Yes, sir, man. I'm all riled up. I'm ready to go. That was tough. It got me going.
Oh man, that's dope. That's dope. So, I just want to say congratulations on your OBL win because, you was a nice seed, brother.
Yeah.
And you had to play in just to get a spot.
Yes, sir. Yup.
So you did more than that. You played in it and you showed why you belong in the finals. Came up short, but from where you were, you sent a lot of people home, bro. So I'm very proud of you. This is why I had to get you on the show.
Yes, sir, man. I really appreciate that. It was a unbelievable experience out there. Just getting network and meet so many new people. I can't say enough great things about it. I'm truly blessed for that opportunity. Seriously.
No doubt. So I want to jump right into this, man. Who introduced you to the game?
So I started playing when I was 11 or 12 years old. I was really into football and baseball when I was little. Basketball is probably like my third sport when I was little. I wasn't really into it. I played CYO and stuff, but my father and my mother, they gave me that chance to start playing basketball. I really wasn't good at that age yet. I was kind of one of those dudes who just, hustled all over the place, was kind of the defender, couldn't really score the ball or nothing. But yeah, my father and my mother introduced me to basketball around that age.
Man, listen, brother. I love to hear that because I'm a guy who started out in baseball and football as well.
Yeah, man. I thought that's where I was gonna go with my life in sports with football and baseball. Definitely on the football side too, because with the way Pop Warner is around here, you know, that's like a really big thing to get into at a young age. Not saying that baseball and basketball aren't either, but football, you know, that was like a big thing around here when I was, you know, at a young age. So
Pop Warner, I remember those days. Hold on for a sec. Those people that's on Instagram, come to the YouTube page. All right, click on the link, come straight to the YouTube, and check out the show. Because that's the only way you're gonna see it from now on. We're going straight to YouTube. All right, appreciate you guys. Listen, I played Pop Warner too. I was a quarterback.
Yup, me too. Yup. Quarterback, and wide receiver.
Wow.
Yup.
I went to high school to play football.
Yeah.
And then made varsity. I played JV, then played varsity, and quit football and was like, all right, I'm gone.
I actually really wanted to play football in high school. My freshman year, I got there. I'm sure we'll get into it later, but I ended up deciding I was going to go to Troy like one of the last weeks of school. And I was still in like, you know, that football mode because my Pop Warner team, we were filthy. Like we won East Regional champions. We were 32-0 in 3 years. So I was still in football mode. So I still wanted to play. But my coach over there, my basketball coach, he kind of shut that down. And it was all just basketball after that.
Listen, for those of you that don't know, us guys in New York, right? The whole New York State, you know, if you played a couple of sports, no matter which one you pick, the one that you pick, you're going to be solidified because we were so versatile in so many different arenas, right? For our sports.
Yeah,
you know?
Yes, sir.
It creates that inner toughness.
Yep, absolutely. No doubt.
Yep. So how was life growing up in Troy?
So I originally grew up in Waterville, New York, and then we moved to Latham, New York around when I was in 5th and 6th grade. And then that's when Troy really became a big basketball program when Coach Rich Hurley, shout out my guy Rich Hurley, he came over to Troy from Bishop McGinn. And back in the day, Bishop McGinn was like, they were the real deal around here. That's when they had, I'm sure you know this name, Taylor Battle.
Yes.
Teron Bowie, Shameik Johnson. Like they were dogs over there. Like they were
real
the big
dogs.
deal. They were the big deal around there. And I know he took a year off and then he wanted to get back into it. And he went over to Troy and, you know, we found a way for it to work out for me to head over there. And, you know, looking back on to this day, it was one of the best decisions of my life.
Wow. That's awesome, man. So what age did you realize, you know, you loved the game of basketball? What age was that when basketball kind of took over?
So when I first got on my first real AAU team with Albany Dream Team, shout out Coach P, shout out Coach Luck, rest in peace, Coach Luck. They organized a team with me and some of my friends that started, you know, hooping around like that 11 to 12 years old age. And they formed Dream Team. And that first year was just like unreal. Like we would play locally because AAU back then, like people around here were still trying to, you know, like figure out like what the whole entire, you know, deal is with that. You know, I don't think necessarily they knew that we could travel out to all these other states. So like, we were just smoking everybody around here, like 30 piece in everyone, like every other tournament, another chip. So definitely after that year, just for the bond that we all created together, and the coaches too, you know, I have so much love for Coach P and Coach Luck because they just believed in me at such a young age when, you know, a lot of other people didn't, and they really invested a lot of their time into me too. So, you know, I can't thank them enough because they really introduced me to, you know, playing that toughness of basketball too. You know, they brought me out of my comfort zone. You know, I started, you know, going to the hood a little bit, playing in these outdoor tournaments, playing in a bunch of these summer tournaments. And just like I said, really get me out of that comfort zone. And, you know, even at those times when, you know, they knew I was uncomfortable and they knew that, you know, I was getting my ass bust, but they just kept sticking with me because, you know, they saw something in me. So I'll always appreciate them for that.
Hey, man, salute to those coaches, man, because it's always those coaches that kind of push us to where we're supposed to be.
Absolutely, man. Those are my dudes forever, man. They really show love and support to this day too. We're all still a family. We all still talk to each other all the time. And it's crazy too. I was just at a basketball tournament yesterday, and one of my old teammates' little brothers is playing now. It's just like he's like 6'6", 6'7" now. It's just like, you guys are making me feel old as hell now. And he's a dog too, freshman at Green Tech.
Wow.
Shout out Ollie Owens. He's gonna be the real deal soon. So
Ollie Owens.
It just brought back a lot of good memories of seeing all those parents and stuff, man. I really love them to death.
Shout out Ollie Owens. Hopefully you'll make it on the show one day.
Yes, sir. He will, man. He's the real deal. His sister is transferring from Kentucky to Syracuse now. Her name's Olivia Owens.
Woo.
She's a real deal too. And then my teammate that I played with was their older brother, Daniel Owens. He's still a brother to me to this day. He's still family to me. We talk all the time. So shout out that family. Great people.
That's dope. What was it like that first game under the refs?
It was a little bit different because, you know, once I made that transition from kind of just like playing like school ball, because back when I did play CYO, we just had our coaches actually reffing the games. We didn't have like actual refs, so I didn't necessarily understand like what their purpose was for being out there. But you know, it was just an adjustment though. You know, starting to learn, I guess, what their job was of the game. But that was still at such a young age. That was when I was 11 or 12 years old when that refs finally like were, you know, a part of the game for us.
Like that first game, did you have like the jitters? Was the game moving?
Oh yeah, because I knew I wasn't no good. I mean, I knew what my purpose was out there, and I really wasn't even getting a lot of playing time at that age still. So, you know, I definitely had the jitters, but you know, it was cool. I adjusted to it quickly though. I adjusted to it very quickly.
That's dope. That's dope. Where did you get the competitive spirit from?
Definitely my mother. She's just been a grinder her whole entire life. She's been through a lot, but just the way I see her carry herself every single solitary day, you know, getting up, going to work, providing for me, my brother, and my sister. She just does it all. She's always found a way to make it work for us every single day, you know, still cooking meals for us, you know, every single day. Just making anything that we need to do, she makes it happen every single time. So, you know, I owe her the world.
Salute to moms for sure.
Absolutely. Yup. Sure. They're the best in the world.
That's right. That's right. So who was the best in the area, like in the neighborhood that everybody strives to be like?
Oh, there's a couple. Definitely when I was young, Tiki Maven, for sure. Tiki Maven, Taylor Battle, Jimmer Fredette. He was all the way up in Glens Falls, but I mean, he just made such a big name for himself doing what he did at BYU. Definitely those three. There's another guy too that he probably doesn't get mentioned a lot with like dudes like that because he didn't really get a chance at that college level with this dude named Lloyd Poolman Johnson. And he still hoops to this day. He's like 40, 42 years old. And like, I kid you not, anytime I've seen him play, I've never seen anybody like been able to like contain him or like guard him or just like hold him under like 30. Like he just still gets to it. He played in the TBT tournament. He played a couple years overseas. He had one game where he dropped 60 over there, but he's just one of those park legends that like just gets to it every single time. And like everyone knew him. Everyone like knew what he does out there. He's just a dog. Still hooping to this day too. Like if I see him at a men's league game, like he's still going crazy. And it's not like he's a guard too. He's only about 6 foot, not really freaky athletic, just a straight bucket. Just gets to it every time.
Well, with a name like Pooh Man, I definitely need him on the show because my nickname is Pooh. So
hey, you definitely got Pooh Man's got a crazy story too. You know, like I said, he didn't have that opportunity, I think, in college. In high school, he was a big deal around here, but he just made his like name just like by just playing street ball around here and just getting to it every time. Like every time he steps on a court, he's getting a bucket. I've never been able to see anybody like really contain him. It's crazy.
That's awesome. Yo, I need everybody that's on my Instagram page right now to come over to YouTube and check out this dope interview. You don't want to miss this. Got my guy Zack Radz. All right, Troy High School great, the OBL second place finalist. Got to come check him out because I'm about to get off Instagram in a few minutes. So I'm gonna keep on for some people that's on the show. Y'all need to come on and check us out on YouTube. The NYC Basketball Network. That's how we give it up. And make sure y'all hit that subscribe button too, so y'all get all the notifications for upcoming shows. Appreciate that. No, like when I had Tiki on the show, that was my longest show, right? The one before that was Shane the Dribbling Machine, and we were just vibing about so many different things after the fact, you know. And we always speaking on the phone, so that's like a regular conversation. But Tiki, I told him he needs to write a book, do a documentary or a movie.
A movie, but yeah, something. Like he's got to do something. And
yes.
Tiki, man, he's just like, he's one of those dudes around here. Anytime he steps like onto like a basketball court, or if he's just going to a tournament, everyone knows who that is. Like that's Tiki Maben. Like he was the truth around here, and just his story is so unbelievable. You know, everything that he's went through, you know, with the good and the bad. You know, a lot of there's people around here that I'm sure like don't necessarily like, you know him. They'll say, "Oh, great basketball player, but off the court got in too much stuff." You know, that happens to people. But if you really get a bond with him and you really get to talk to him, he just has so much knowledge about the game of basketball, and he'll even admit to stuff like, you know, off the court about what he did. And, you know, he'll tell you, you know, that stuff obviously wasn't okay for him, but he just has so much knowledge of the game of basketball, which is like, you can't not see him and like not ask him questions, because he's seen everything and he's been through everything too. And at such a young age too, you know, especially around here in upstate New York, like we, you know, a lot of these players aren't, you know, nationally like known like that. Tiki was like that, nationally known too, on the ESPN cover with Greg Paulus as one of the top freshmen in the country. Yes. You know, that's a lot to handle at a young age, especially with a lot of people, you know, around here not necessarily able to guide him with like what's necessarily right and wrong at that age, because they haven't been through it. But Tiki's just been through it all, and, you know, having almost every school in the country like reach out to him at such a young age, and just everything he was able to overcome too. You know, he still got an American East championship at Binghamton, was cooking out there, doing his thing, almost beat the Dukies in the first round too. Tiki's story is just unbelievable, and I got so much love for him because he's always showed me mad love and support too. He's always believed in me, always shown me so much love too. So I got nothing but love in the world for Tiki. You know, I just saw him yesterday. Matter of fact, I was watching his son, Sai might get him. Sai might get him. I think he knows that. I think he knows that too.
He mentioned them. He mentioned them. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a freshman right now. He just he's gonna be a sophomore next year. He just got a Section 2 championship at Green Tech. He's got a couple offers on the table already, but like he's just got it though. It's crazy. He's a man.
Well, listen, brother. I respect Tiki so much because he didn't make any excuses. Mm-hmm. Right? He didn't make any excuses. He owned up to what happened. And listen, as long as you get up and you have breath that next day, you always get a chance to make change. And I think that's what he's doing right now.
100%. He's doing whatever he can too. And it's just like I said, he has so much knowledge of the game too, to just pass down to people. And he's so positive when he talks to him too. Like, he's just a really, really, really good dude. And, you know, I appreciate Tiki too, because he always Went to a lot of my high school games too out of Troy. Was always giving feedback. He didn't toot my horn or anything either. Like, he would tell me when I need to hear something. But I got so much love for Tiki. That's my dude.
Man, salute Tiki Maben.
Salute Tiki Maben. No, they need a documentary or something on him. Like his story is just so wild. Great dude, man.
Nah, that's definitely gonna happen. So did you come down to the city and play much?
When I was younger, yeah, like I said, with the Albany Dream Team, once we started, kind of just smoking everybody around here, we were like, all right, we got to, start getting and leveling up our competition. And we played in a couple outdoor tournaments. There was this one, it was the bounce clinic at, I forget the college it was at. It was ran by Sean Couch and Jim Couch.
Okay, was that City College of Columbia, one of those two?
It would have been one of those, I think, yeah. But we went to one of their first tournaments, and like it humbled us. It humbled us for sure. So, like as soon as we got back on that Sunday, we had practice on that Monday, and I just remember we didn't touch a ball the whole entire time. We didn't touch a basketball the whole entire time. But yeah, no, going that first trip out to New York City, I remember it was with Sean Couch and Jim Couch, and we got humbled really quick. Wow. But we came back though, we didn't run from anything. We knew like what we had to get better at. We knew what we had to do to keep making a name for ourselves. So I know we went back out to New York a couple other times that year, and we started holding our own. I know we got a chip out there too. But yeah, no, that first time to New York, it humbled us. But everybody needs that though. Everyone.
Listen, if you never taste that humble pie, you ain't gonna get better.
Yep, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
That humble pie prepares you for that big meal coming up.
Yep, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fact. So what year did you start to come into your own? Let's get into your high school year, right? Because in the public schools in New York City, usually there's a JV and then varsity level, right? Yep. Back when I played, there was no JV. So if you didn't make varsity, there was nothing, right? Yeah. But what was your process? And let's start from your freshman year and let's move on from there.
So my freshman year when I moved to Troy, I played JV my first year. My guy, Coach B now. I was still very, very tiny at that time in my life too. I was 5'7". That was on a good day too. I was still kind of that small, typical, white kid who could just really shoot the ball. I did really well though. I had a very good year. And I switched conferences. It was a suburban council when I went to Shaker. And I went to Troy. It was the Big Ten, which was more of the, bigger conference around here, playing in the Big Ten. So I know I had to like make that transition to go and play in that conference. But my freshman year I played JV. We had a really good year. I got moved up to varsity for the playoffs, but that was kind of, just to be a part of the team, start to learn, how it all works, learn the system. I got moved up for those last couple games of the playoffs and, just got to start, learning what was going to be like for next year when I played varsity as a sophomore.
Wow. Sophomore. Yeah, that's about right. And then you learn the system, and then probably like your junior years where you start to kind of shine a little bit and then move on to your senior year.
So my sophomore year, I was for JV, I was able to kind of do whatever I wanted. I scored 20 a game with my other backcourt teammate. Shout out Jo. But sophomore year, I didn't really get no bigger though. I didn't get bigger at all. I was still tiny as hell. Probably maybe grew an inch, maybe 5'8", but I could still shoot the ball really well. So Coach Hurley, he had a very good, system with, running sets for what is good for, our game. So we also had 3 really big time players too. We had Javion Ogunemi, who went to Siena, got Defense Player of the Year. We had Jarrell Reed, who went to D1 JUCO. He was probably one of the best players around here too. We had two of the best players with those two. And then we had my guy Dyer Holt too, who was a year younger than me, and he was like the real deal around here, and he was the other scorer. So, you know, my job that year was just to play defense as best as I could. And anytime I'm open around the three, just shoot that ball every single time. But, you know, and I liked it too, you know, that I would just stand in the corner because a lot of teams played zone on us for whatever reason. And I would just really have Javion and Jarrell were such good passers in the zone too, which made our offense really flow and work so well. So like I said, my job was just sit in the corner. And anytime I'm open, I don't even hesitate, just shoot the ball. And Coach Hurley gave me a lot of confidence too. I remember the first couple of games was a little bit rough just because of the atmosphere too and how hyped up our team was. I don't think I was necessarily prepared for like the environment wise, but once I started getting into it and once I started getting my confidence up, I started to knock down a lot of shots, you know, was starting to get really consistent. And the defensive side, I started getting a lot better too, because that was kind of my only flaw. A lot of, you know, dudes are starting to like bully me down there. So, you know, I had that brought the toughness in me too, though, because, you know, you got to take that personal when you're getting scored on a lot.
Did that make you a better defensive player? You know, and I'm gonna talk from this perspective of the defensive mind, right? Because that's who I was on my team, right? I was the defensive stopper, but I always want to hold the best player. I don't like to shy away and hold a guy that's not getting the ball because that's kind of boring, right?
Yeah.
Who was the guy that kind of brought it out of you that said, you know what, I'm playing against him tonight, so I got to bring my A game. And even though he may got the best of you, that next time around it was a little bit different.
So my sophomore year, I was honestly able to kind of get away with not being as well on the defensive end because we had Javion and Jarrell, who were both 6'9". You know, they were trees. So anytime anybody even drove to the hoop, they were just, you know, punting it. So I kind of got away with that on the defensive side my sophomore year. But my junior year, we played a team called Scotia, and my guy Joe Cremo, he was like that. He was that other dude around here. He went to All-Albany for 4 years, crushed it there. Was able to transfer to Villanova for his final season, and he's playing overseas right now, doing a great job over there. But yeah, it was definitely Joe Cremo though. He gave it to me in the championship game.
Nothing like those dudes, man. Nothing like those dudes to bring out the best of us, right?
Yeah, he's very similar to me too, and just in terms of having that chip on his shoulder. A lot of people kind of, you know, were very negative about him because during the in season he didn't really play necessarily like the best talent. They were in a different league than us, but once we got to playoff times, they were in the same class as us. But we knew we were going to match up with them. Everybody knew it was going to be Troy and Scotia. But yeah, it was definitely Joe Cremo, though. Shout out my guy, Joe Cremo. He's an absolute dog. Gets to it every time.
Salute to Joe, man. So let's talk about that 6-5 season, right? Because no matter where you at, I think we talking about your senior year, right? That's where you averaged that?
Yup. Yeah, no, senior year was a huge year for me. That's when I finally hit my crazy growth spurt. A lot of people were really just amazed how much taller I'd gotten.
How tall were you up before that?
5'8", 5'9", and then my senior year I just grew to 6 foot. That's when I started dunking the ball. I started gaining my athleticism. My game just expanded in so many levels. My ball, dribbling the ball, you know, aspects of scoring. Definitely the athleticism really caught a lot of people off guard. My third or fourth game, I think it was, we played Albany High. It was a packed place. That's a big rival around here, Troy and Albany High. And it was a Friday night, and I was baseline, and I was trying to do this dunk in gym class like hours before this game, and I couldn't do it because I'm not really a 1 foot jumper. But I I just had so much like momentum going into that game. I took a couple of dribbles baseline and I threw it on like 3 people, and the whole entire place just went absolutely nuts. And I was shocked myself too, because I couldn't get the dunk in gym class that whole entire day. But I don't know what it was into me. I saw the lane. I got by the first dude, and there were 3 guys just right there, and I just jumped right over them, and it set the tone for the rest of the game. We beat them up pretty good that day.
Wow, man.
Yeah, but and then after that, I think my confidence just started growing more and more and more. I know how hard I worked that summer too, just to expand my game. It was just a lot of, because I was still in that mode where I still didn't have a single offer. I had some Division III looks. I was starting to get some Division II looks, but with the way my SAT scores were, I was, a lot of coaches were still kind of iffy if I was going to be able to get that. But I just worked my ass off that summer and did whatever I could do to try and get better, whether, if that was working out with this dude in the morning or going back out to Schenectady to work out with this guy late at night. If it was sneaking into Troy High late at night to just get some pickup runs in. If that was just playing some, an extra summer league game, I was doing anything I could possibly do going into that summer, because I know how good our team was, and I know how much I really wanted this, like at that point in my life. I was just so hungry for that first offer. I was so hungry for it.
Listening to you talk about Albany, Troy, Schenectady, we have streets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, avenues, right? It's Albany Avenue, Troy Avenue, Schenectady, right? And they run consecutively behind each other. So I definitely know how tight the towns and the rivalries that you guys were up against upstate.
Yeah, no, definitely with those 2 schools too. I actually remember my sophomore year, Albany and Troy. It was like a very bad summer, and everyone kind of knew the hype that was going to that. They only allowed a certain amount of people in for that game at Albany and Troy. That's how crazy it was getting, just kind of with like the street violence part of it. But yeah, it got to a point where it was that crazy. But it was still really cool though. You always look forward to those games, and those teams always brought the best out of you too, every time. So like, you knew no matter what the records were, you knew you were in for a dogfight that night.
Man, so I'm going to ask you, right? I asked everyone this question. Who ass did you bust to let you know you was one of the top guys up there?
Say that again.
Who ass did you bust to let you know, like, you know what, I could play with some of the best? Maybe there were guys better than you. Maybe there's someone that, that was better than you that you played against to let you know what, I could run with the big boys.
Yeah, I think it was I would say my junior year was my very first game, and people were kind of just still giving me like just saying that I was still that shooter. Like, that's all I could do is shoot the ball. I can't dribble. I can't jump at all. Nothing. But I came out my first game and I had 32 points that night, and that kind of just set the tone for the rest of the season. You get tired of hearing about that stuff for a while, and it just gives you so much motivation, going into that too, because you hear all the critics, you hear all the negative things that people are saying about you. But I don't know who it necessarily was from around here though. I can't lie, but it might have been in an AAU game, but I don't know who it was individually, but I know it was somebody, but I just can't recall off the top of my head, to be honest with you.
What was the school that you had 32 against, Zack?
It was CBA, and that's another huge rival around here. Huge.
There you
rival. Yup. So CBA is more kind of that preppy school.
That's John Crotty. That's where John Crotty's from.
Yup. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
they're more of that preppy school, but they're so good at they're a private school, so they get all those, you know, top athletes are good in baseball, football, basketball, you name it. And then you had Troy, which, you know, it's not like that at all. It's just schools are just two completely different, you know, places. So that was always a big game too, and that was the first game on our calendar. So there was a lot of people there too. It was a really hyped up game, but so yeah, it was definitely CBA though. CBA were always dogfights too.
And you're talking about your junior year, right?
Yeah,
where you came out and that kind of put you in the mind space.
It set the tone for the rest of the year for sure. I definitely put people on notice. I was still very tiny height wise, and I didn't really get much bigger, you know, body wise, but I still worked very hard because I knew I was going to be that guy. Me and Dyer had to be that guy for the next couple of years because Javion and Jarrell left. So I knew I had to just expand my game.
What did you do during that summer? Like, what were some of the things that you did during that summer that helped you develop your game for being one of the guys your senior year?
So that whole entire AAU summer, I was playing with my guy Twigs and Jason Clark with City Rocks, Albany City Rocks. I wasn't on the EYBL team. I was on the B team, which I was cool with. I didn't think I would really get a lot of playing time in EYBL, but shout out my guy Twigs and Jason Clark. They just get it done around here, you know, helping a bunch of athletes around here get into schools. I've just seen all the work and dedication they put into everything, just with emailing schools, reaching out to as many college coaches that they can. But getting on that circuit too, because we went to a lot of tough tournaments too, and they had us in the gym a lot too that summer. We had practice 4 or 5 times a week. And Troy's and Jason really just, you know, showed us what it's going to take as well to get ready for that college level too, because we all wanted that same goal. We all wanted a scholarship. So, you know, they made us work hard for it, and they showed us it's not easy at all. I think a lot of people in high school, you know, they think that college life is so easy at first, but it's definitely not at all. And just getting that first scholarship is so hard too, because, you know, you can have a great game in AAU and you see 20 coaches sitting sideline watching the game and you still don't hear nothing. So I think it's just more fuel to the fire too with that.
Not to mention, you got the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Right? You got the transfer portal that's working up against the kids. This is why I tell kids, hold the best player, because whoever the scouts looking at going to have to look at you too.
I actually was saying this to a couple, you know, my young bulls around here. I was like, everyone at the college level can score the ball. Like 90% of these dudes, they were the man in high school. They were the man on their AAU team. Almost everyone in college can score the ball. But if you're still looking for that school, if you're still looking for that, you know, opportunity to get to the next level, you gotta be loud at what you do. You gotta stand out. Whether that's guarding the other team's best player, being more vocal, being a leader on the team, it's not necessarily, and especially winning too. I know AAU is not all about winning, but once you get to that age around, you know, 15, 16U and 17U, it plays a big role though, because the more you win at these live events, the more the coaches are going to go and watch you. But you know, scoring is obviously, you know, an aspect of basketball, but you got to be loud with what you do though. You got to do something that's going to make them really notice you.
And it's so hard to do when there's so many ball players, right? It's so many ball players, a lot of them playing the same positions. And how do you make yourself stick out? Being that defensive guy, right? Being someone that can kind of control the floor of the offense and defense, showing them that you're a winner. There's so many intangibles because, like you said, everybody's going to know how to score. Everybody's going to know how to put the ball in the basket. But what are you going to do to make yourself stand out?
Yeah, and, you know, the other thing is, too, you got to always think of it, too. There's thousands of other dudes in the same exact position as you, looking for that next opportunity. And those dudes are all hungry, are all as hungry as you. So, you just got to be loud with what you do. Do whatever you got to do, whatever it takes. And like I said, if that's guarding the other team's best player for the whole entire game, that's what you got to do. Then you got to stand out, especially now too with that extra COVID year that the NCAA gave. I know it's really difficult and tough for the high school kids now with what they're going through, but that's just life, and that's how it is right now. You just got to do what you can to stand out.
Man, that's so real. Well, we had salute to Toby Aquaba. Hope I'm saying his name right. He was Mr. Basketball for the state of New York.
Mm-hmm.
He went to Cardinal Hayes. He just signed his letter of intent to go to Tennessee.
Yeah, awesome. Good for him. That's awesome.
Right. Whereas in years past, those guys who won Mr. Basketball had a plethora of schools to pick from.
Yeah, yep.
Right. So he went on a circuit and he was doing well, and he got more offers that came in and one that kind of suited where he felt like he should be.
Yep. Shout out to him. That's awesome. I hope he kills it out there.
Yeah. And then we had Paris Clark. She played for Long Island Lutheran. She signed her letter of intent last year to Arizona.
Oh, wow.
So that goes to show you how much the girls are moving up.
Yeah, absolutely. The girl side is getting crazy. I almost see a clip every other week of a girl dunking the ball.
Oh, yes.
Or if I see it, just like, I don't know, the game has just evolved a lot on the girls side. I think it's in the next 5 or 6 years, I think a lot more people are really going to be tuned into it, because I think they saw for the more people to watch them play, that they got to do something that's different. Because, we only had 10 girls, back in the day that could dunk the ball like that. And now, like I said, it's like every other week you see a new girl like going up there and just banging it. So, yeah, man, that's awesome though. Good for her.
Salute to girls basketball, man. Salute. All across the country.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. So what made you want to go to St. Thomas More and do a prep year? Like, what was some of the things that you kind of, went over with your family and your coaches and to make that decision?
So I was still hungry for that first offer. Once I got I would say middle school, actually, I always wanted to just play Division I basketball. That was just my goal from the jump, because I knew I could do it. I knew it would take a lot for me to do it, just, based off where I was from, basically, just how I was, with my body frame and how tiny I was. I knew it would be very difficult to do it. So I just had to be different in that aspect. But I was still hungry for that first offer after my senior year, after I played as well as I could have. And I took the visit out to St. Thomas More, and I met the legendary Coach Jerry Quinn. He's been there for 40 years. As soon as I stepped into his office, you can see just pictures of every single guy that he's had that's committed there. So I think that's one of his things, to try and get dudes to come to his school. As soon as you walk in, you just see all the commits that have been there, all the coaches that have just stepped into his gym. So it's hard to say no to that. And he's been nominated to go in the Basketball Hall of Fame the last 2 years. They got to give it to him soon.
Yeah, he'll be there. He'll be there soon.
He's got to be. He's still doing it over there at St. Thomas More too. It's insane what he's doing. But yeah, man, Jerry Quinn really won me over though, just with his personality and just everything he told me about the school, and everything that he told me, it ended up happening. A lot of coaches, I feel like at times, will lie to their players or tell them something that's really not true just to get them to come to school. But I just remember him saying one of our first open gyms, there's going to be 25 plus coaches there. And I kid you not, it like doubled that. There were 50 coaches. We had a stacked team. We had Christian Vital, who went to UConn, Charlie Brown, who's on the 76ers right now, EJ Crawford, who won 4 chips at Iona, Omari Spellman, who was in the league for a little bit, Arkel Lamar, who beat Virginia when he was on UMBC that year, Kai Mitchell. I think when it was all said and done, Julian Batts too, who went to LIU Brooklyn in my conference, Kanan Bartley. I think when it was all said and done, we had 9 Division I commits on that team. You know, we were just stacked up.
Wow, listen, you know, I played at FDU, so when I was there, Sacred Heart wasn't Division I at that time.
Yeah, but they're Division II, I believe.
Right, but still in all, I went to prep school my senior year. Right, I went to MCI, so I know the whole thing with and we don't have the program there no more up in Maine. But St. Thomas More has always been a competitive prep school, always sent out loads and loads of players. So for you to go there, make the adjustment, and then when all of those other guys still find your way into playing Division I basketball, which was your dream, how did it make you feel? And what were some of the things that St. Thomas More prepared you for?
So one thing with St. Thomas More, you had no other choice just to play basketball. It's in the middle of nowhere in Oakdale, Connecticut, all boys school. You had to dress up every single day for class. What we did for entertainment on the weekends was just doing something so simple like going to the mall to just like maybe get a couple pairs of clothes, or grocery shopping was a big thing too. Playing manhunt at night on a Saturday. But the one thing with St. Thomas More is you have no excuse. Like if you want to get better, that's the place to go to. All we did there was just play basketball every single solitary day, whether it was sneaking in the gym at night when, you know, we weren't supposed to be there. And just competing against those guys every single day too. You know, in my position, it was Charlie and EJ, and they're 2 of the best scorers I've ever played with. So having to compete against them every single day, that was just a life-changing experience in terms of basketball, because those were 2 top dogs in like the prep school conference too. And Charlie went to St. Joe's, EJ was going to Iona, and just having to go up and compete against them every single day was just unreal, because, you know, we would go at it all the time, even at the practice too, for just playing one-on-one. You know, there are some days we didn't like each other because, you know, we were talking shit to each other, and, you know, we get over it after a couple of days because, you know, it's always all love. But yeah, no, those 2 specifically, man, they really got me prepared for college, just because having to play against them every single solitary day just got me better.
Who was some of the other schools besides Sacred Heart that showed interest, and what were the moments like when you started receiving those Division I letters? Let's go back before Sacred Heart, right? When you started receiving those Division I letters, like what was that like?
Yeah, no, it was. So Sacred Heart offered me a couple weeks before I was going to go to St. Thomas More. And then that first couple weeks of open gym, when all these coaches were just there because we just had so much talent. St. Peter's, Holy Cross, Townsend, UAlbany, and Siena never really showed any love. But, you know,
isn't that crazy, right?
Yeah.
These schools be right in the backyard and don't even show any love.
It's a weird thing around here. I never really like understood it. You know, there's been a couple dudes from around here that have ended up going to those schools, but I'm not really sure though. But, you know, that's whatever though. But and Binghamton too. But it wasn't really a lot of schools because I committed to Sacred Heart like on my first week at St. Thomas More. My thing was with Sacred Heart is because they believed in me first, so I'm gonna believe in them first.
It's like, man, they're the first one that came along, a hold on tight because you never know what might happen, right?
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
No, that's real. That's real.
Yeah,
so you know, you get the Sacred Heart and you're making that transition from prep school to college. What was that transition like for you, right? Because they kind of prepared you for the preppy dress and studying and all that. outside of that, what other transitions that you had to make on and off the court?
It was a lot my freshman year. It was really a lot because nobody in my family really was out of college, or especially went away to college for 4 years. So I didn't really I knew what I was getting myself into, at some aspects, but it was just a very big adjustment at first. And that just went going with like not even knowing I needed to get a laptop at first. Someone just little like that. But the basketball side, I think the big thing was for me was really getting my body right, and just getting adjusted to the weight room lifestyle too, because those summer sessions, those first couple of weeks were really tough because I never had lifted like that. I never lifted like that, and then had to go and play basketball in another hour. My legs were feeling crazy, my arms were feeling crazy, and I felt bad because I wasn't showing what I could do those first couple of weeks. So I was all mad, I was all down, but I had a lot of really good teammates that year were just telling me, this is just the adjustment going to that college lifestyle. Because we were up and at it every single day at 6 a.m, getting ready. And then, we'd have individual workouts at 10 o'clock, and then we'd play pickup right after. So, but yeah, no, freshman year was definitely a lot of up and downs too. Unfortunately, I got my first real injury when I sprained. I had a high ankle sprain, my right ankle, and it was a couple weeks before our first game, and I was able to come back for the first game, but I was in and out of the lineup those first 6 or 7 games because I just wasn't myself out there, and I was feeling very down about myself, to be totally honest with you, because I knew I could do so much more out there, but I was just limited to what I could do with the way my ankle was. And that was a very frustrating time too, because I never really experienced trying to play through an injury like that. But yeah, no, that was a frustrating time, definitely basketball wise, my freshman year, because I knew I could compete out there. I knew I could definitely hang with the team and the teams we were playing against, but I just didn't feel like myself out there at all. And I didn't even understand really what the recovery process was for that too. It takes a really long time for those ankle sprains to heal, and I had to just get adjusted to that too.
Yeah, it's nothing like getting through your first real injury.
Yeah,
I had mine my sophomore year, so I definitely understand feelings on that. And it was one or two games after to where I couldn't redshirt. It was very early in the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
so it kind of stretched out.
That was actually a thing with me too. It was too late to even try and redshirt that year too. So I was really out of the lineup for that whole entire year too. I didn't start getting like back to like 100% until our last couple of games of conference play. But I mean, I'm not gonna step on the court at that time because we're already basically done with the season. So that was just a very frustrating time. I learned a lot about myself, and I learned a lot about that whole entire process too. But it was very frustrating. I can't lie.
Yeah, man, those are the down times, man. Let's talk about some of the good times. What were some of the standout moments at Sacred Heart where you felt like you're back to yourself?
Yeah, so I dealt with the injury bug almost my whole entire career. My sophomore year, which was statistically my best season throughout Sacred Heart, I was averaging around 9, 4 rebounds and a couple of assists, and I broke my foot right before conference time, so that was another letdown. But my sophomore year, I had a couple of good games. Robert Morris, I had 20 verse. Dartmouth, I had my first double digits game where I had 17. So the confidence was there going into my junior year. My junior, that broken foot took a long time to recover from. I was just able to come back right in time for my junior year. And junior year, Robert Morris was always that team I played well against. I had 17 again versus Robert Morris. And then the second time we played them, I had my career high, which was 23. And that whole my junior year was my only season that I played fully healthy throughout the whole entire year. And, I was scoring in double digits, almost every other game. I was playing 23 to 28 minutes a game. I was out there a lot. I was one of the first guys off the bench. So, that was a really good feeling. But yeah, my sophomore year when I played Robert Morris at Dartmouth, because those were back-to-back games, I believe, too. So that got my confidence going until the broken foot happened.
Wow. Robert Morris, Pittsburgh, PA. Let me tell you, the year I hurt my knee, we wound up making it to the conference championship and lose by one to Robert Morris.
Oh, they went in almost. They're not in NEC anymore, actually.
No, I know.
Yeah.
What conference are they in right now?
I forget which conference they're in now. I think it's a Southern Conference, but they were always that team to beat Robert Morris.
How did they get in the Southern Conference from?
I'm not sure. I could be wrong in that, to be honest, but I think it is one of those conferences.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but them, Wagner, what was it? LIU Brooklyn. Those are really the three power teams in our conference during my years there. But it always felt good because Robert Morris was always in that top 2 in our conference throughout my whole entire time there, and I was always hooping versus them. So my thing was, all right, I can compete with any of these teams out here. So
yeah, when I was at FDU, it was Monmouth, Robert Morris, us, and St. Francis, PA.
Yeah, St. Francis. That I hated playing at that school.
Is it, it's so crazy. There at Marist was some of the hardest places to play.
Yeah.
Crazy.
No, St. Francis, PA is just that's in the middle of nowhere. And their school isn't very big with, the students that come there. So they get that whole entire gym packed too. And even people in the community too. So it's never an easy game out there at all.
No. Salute to St. Francis, PA.
Yeah, absolutely.
Woo! Tough place to play, man. Tough place to play. We lost to them my senior year in the conference championship. It was crazy. They had this kid, Mike Izzolino, wound up playing for the Utah Jazz, and my guy Joe Anderson from Virginia.
Yo, I heard about Mike. Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
They're always just a tough place to play. Even FDU is just a weird place to play sometimes too. I didn't know what it was, if it was like the setting of the gym or that place was always packed too anytime we went there. But I feel like we never had a weekend game versus them. It was always on a Tuesday or Thursday when we played them. So it's just one of those weird games. I don't know what it was about FDU. But no, they were always.
It's that space. It's that space in the background, especially for shooters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I always told my coach, why don't you just change the rims?
Right.
On, that's a whole nother story, right? That's a whole nother story. So, you guys finished up at Sacred Heart. What did you guys finish up your senior year?
My senior year was actually that COVID year because after my junior year, I took time off. I didn't play the next year. I had another injury going into that year, and I was just dealing with some stuff off the court, and I just knew my head wasn't really into that basketball mode because just dealing with that injury again. That was the 4th or 5th major injury, and I was really, quite frankly, just depressed from it. So I took some time away to go home and just get my mind right. But my senior year was a COVID year, and unfortunately, that was just a really weird year. We missed all of our out of conference games because just dealing with COVID. If somebody on our team had COVID or one of the other teams had COVID, so they canceled a majority of those games. So we only really played during conference time, and I didn't start getting healthy until like the midpoint of that year. But senior year was definitely weird just with that COVID year though.
They didn't give y'all guys another year like during that COVID year. You got.
I could have done it next year. I did put my name in the transfer portal, but I did it very, very late. I think it was just a mutual thing with me and the coaching staff at Secret Heart. I don't think it would have worked out again for another year, to be totally honest. But you know, I have nothing but love for that whole entire coaching staff. It was nothing personal at all. It's just, you know, I can understand too. You know, I was getting injured almost every single year. I only played one season fully healthy, so you know I could understand that. But it was, you know, no love lost at all. It was nothing personal. But I did enter the transfer portal very, very late, and I was getting a couple low major Division I schools that reached out, and a lot of D2 schools too. But I just don't think I was in that school mode to do it again. To be totally honest with you, man.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Yeah,
What was it like? You know, rediscover yourself after basketball.
It's been a very, very weird year, to say that. Basketball is the only thing I've ever known in my life. That's you know, the only thing that I really strived and did very, very well in. And it was tough because that was the first time in my life I wasn't competing and I wasn't playing every single solitary day. And I wasn't really on a team. I wanted to try and play overseas, but, you know, the looks really weren't coming just because those last 2 years, you know, I really didn't have anything to offer to them just because of the injuries happening. And I really didn't know what to do with myself at first. You know, I started working with kids a little bit. I started getting into training kids, which I did enjoy a lot, but I didn't have the love and passion for it as I did, you know, playing basketball. So yeah, the first couple of months, all during the fall and all during the winter, was definitely a weird time because it was the first time in my life that I wasn't out there competing, and just a very, very weird time. Can't lie.
Well, Mr. Dumpson, salute to you, my brother. He said Robert Morrison's in Atlantic 10.
A-10 they're in Atlantic 10 now? Okay. They made a big move then. They must have just switched then again.
They must have getting their butt kicked because we didn't hear about them in a while. But salute to Robert.
Yeah, right.
A-10 is tough. A-10 is tough.
Yeah, that's a big step for them. Good for them. Coach O'Toole, he's a cool dude, and I got to meet him a couple times after our game, so I'm sure he's doing some great stuff with the program.
Now, from what I'm hearing, right? I don't know how true it is. I forgot to even talk about this over the phone with you. Someone was telling me that I think my guy BG said you wasn't even supposed to be even playing in the OBL because of some complications you had early on.
Yeah, yup. So that was a little bit before I actually sent them my info to like enter yourself into it, but I was training kids during this time, and it was a night when I came home and I just had a lot of trouble with my breathing, and this was going on for like a week or so, and every day just seemed to start progressively getting worse and worse. So I had to get sent to the hospital because one of those days I couldn't even like get an air of breath going, and I had a problem with my thyroid gland, which is right in my neck, and my potassium levels were very, very low, and they wanted to put me on medication for it, but we didn't find out like what that proper medication was for like a very, very long time. We tried doing, you know, different things after every doctor that I went to go and see, but nothing was really working. It was really frustrating. It messed up with, you know, my hormones too. My mood was really bad. I couldn't even physically get out of bed some days. So that was a tough time too, just because during when I was training kids, I wanted to get back into playing just because I was finally back around the game, and those kids I worked with, they brought my passion back out for it too, And then that happened, and that was the first time I could honestly say in my life that, basketball is done with. I can't play anymore. And that was another tough thing to really go through, because I always wanted another opportunity to play professionally, or just compete again. And that really hurt. That really hurt me. It was a tough thing to just cope with, and come to that realization. And thank God I didn't give up on myself with that. But I was very close to it. I thought it was time to hang them up. The basketball career is done. You gotta focus on the next step in life. But yeah, that was another rough time. Like I said, the year after college was definitely very weird.
Wow. Listen, this is so inspiring. This is another reason why I wanted to bring you on the show. After watching you play those 2 games, my first time seeing you play was against Seattle Gaines, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, damn, he beat Seattle, like, ooh. Because my guy SG is a dog, right?
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
I was just walking in the gym and slid over to the court, and you was doing your thing. And
Yes,
then I was talking to my guy BG, and he gave me the rundown, and I was just like, this is very inspiring. Then come back the next day and to see what you did, I was like,
yeah,
these are the kind of stories that need to be told.
Yeah, man. No, that like I said earlier in this, the OBL is just like fully giving me my confidence back. It's crazy. I sent them my highlight film like 2 months prior, because I saw it on Twitter and I started seeing it was becoming like a big thing. And I was like, all right, I'm just gonna send them my info and see what happens. Because at that point I was starting to like be able to run a little bit again, and not even just playing basketball, just like, just doing like physical activities, like that's lifting or just, running again. I think I honestly just got ahead of myself. I was like, all right, I'm just going to see what happens. And they didn't get back to me till a week before it was going down in Brooklyn. So I wasn't even like ready to like really go. I was shooting a little bit. I was, in the gym, but I wasn't really back in that basketball mode at all. And I got the text, and I was like, I'm not saying no to this. To play basketball for free, and the cash prize was cool and everything too, obviously at the end. But just to play in front of Tracy McGrady, I'm not saying no to that. So I did what I could do to try and get myself ready for that weekend, and it was everything I could ask for.
We gonna get into that, man. We're gonna dig a little bit more into that. But just let's go back a little bit. What were some of the things that gave you the strength to keep going despite being against the odds and having the odds against you?
Yeah. Just because I know my whole entire life I've always had to play with a chip on my shoulder. I've known nothing that I've earned throughout my whole entire basketball career was ever given to me. I've earned everything, and I'm proud to really say that I've busted my ass for everything. Even when it was making that transition to Troy, I told my mom, I think this would be something great for me. I promise you, I'm going to work as hard as I can to achieve my goals. And then once my Troy career was done, when I still didn't achieve that goal, I was reaching out to everybody I could around here. What do you think I should do? What do you think the next step should be for me? And luckily, I have a lot of supporters who helped me find out with St. Thomas More. But yeah, man, I've always had to play with a chip on my shoulder. A lot of people have doubted me throughout my whole entire career playing basketball. But I think I've really gained a lot of love and support with just, them seeing how hard I've worked for this and how much I love basketball. That's one thing with basketball. If you don't love this game, it's not going to love you back. Like to truly play basketball, you have to love this and give it everything you have. I think that's one thing with basketball too. A lot of people, when they stop playing, is they can't deal with, the ups and downs of it, because basketball is full of up and downs. It's a love-hate relationship. So I think just my drive and my motivation and my love for basketball has gotten me to this point.
Yeah, brother. Listen,
a lot of bad days, but the good and great days have made them feel like nothing.
Listen, and trust me, and it's just the beginning, brother. Trust me, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of something great. When we talk about those great basketball stories, those comeback stories, those stories of fighting against the odds and coming out victorious, that's definitely going to be, you'll take it to the next level, because not just the story, but your drive to get better. From where you were from to like where you came from to where you at now, like you could have gave up on this a long time ago.
Yeah, that's one thing. Giving up is an easy thing to do. Like I said, I feel like that's a lot of people that play basketball. They just tune out and they're just done with it, because that love-hate relationship with basketball, it's really real. And, only a true hooper understands that. But once those, achievements that you have and those goals that you start to overcome and you fulfill them, it's the greatest feeling in the world. And it just only gives you more and more confidence and more motivation to just do better. So that's just one thing with me in the back of my mind. Is like, I just need that one opportunity and that one moment to, get rid of all those bad times I've had with basketball. Because, there's been a lot of times where I'm just like, I'm done with this. I can't do it no more. But, I'm very thankful that I've had a lot of love and support from people that have kept me going. I owe a lot to people who have, been by my side through this all.
So did you have like a small parade once you got back, knowing, you didn't win, but for when you was from to the second place is amazing, coming all the way from Troy, coming down to Brooklyn, and 9th place.
Yeah.
Like 9th place would have been good from where you was, right? Like I'm just gonna be from where you was, 9th place was a good achievement. Like, you know what? If I didn't have to go through what I had to go through, I probably did even better.
Yeah.
But to go from 9th place to the championship, how ill is that, man?
Like I said, this whole entire league has just brought my confidence back. I'm back in that basketball mode. Like I'm trying to stay very humbled as I can throughout this. It's just all the love I got back from people. One thing with me is anytime somebody shows me love, I want to get back to as many people as I can that just took time out of their day to just show me some love and support. But it was just an unreal experience. As soon as I got there, I met some guy and he started filming me, and he's like, oh, after the interview, he's like, oh, like we're at Showtime. I was like, oh, Tracy's not messing around with this. Like this is going to be like a really big deal. So I had some nerves and jitters though. I feel like if, you play any sport, it's normal to have those nerves and jitters, because, you've worked so hard for opportunities like this to come, and, you don't want to mess up or you don't want to fail. But after those first couple of games, I see some shots going in. I see my body's feeling well. I'm moving around well. And just as each game kept going on, I just got more and more confident. But yeah, man, the OBL, I can't thank Tracy and that whole entire staff enough, and all the people I met out there too, just because, they just showed me so much love, and I just felt all the love from everyone too. Even in a couple of games I lost on Saturday, everyone, even my opponents, they're just showing me love back too, and just asking me like my story and everything and how my career went. And, it's just stuff like that. Just, sometimes those words and, that comfort, it means the world to me. So it just gave me all my confidence back.
No, you're going to be one of the biggest stories on Showtime when they put that whole thing together down in
Las Vegas. I can't wait. it was very overwhelming at first, but I couldn't have asked for anything more. I was mad. I was obviously mad as a competitor after I lost in the championship to my guy Leaky, but after the first couple minutes, I just was just looking at the whole entire bigger picture. With all the networking I did, I upset one of the best basketball players in New York City to come out of there, my guy Eugene.
Come on,
shout
man.
out Eugene. Shout out
Lincoln guy right there. That's right. Right.
Shout out Eugene, man. He's such a humbled and cool dude. I remember in a press conference on Sunday morning when they were asking us all questions that I was sitting next to him, and the guy I played in the playing game was kind of like talking trash because that's what they want you to do.
Mm-hmm.
I was just that's just never who I've been about. And with what I was saying, as soon as I was done, he was like, "Very good job, Zack." And I was thinking to myself, like, why would he say something to me like that? And then I heard him talk to the press for the first time, and he was just giving me so much like input and like advice after too, and telling me about his career. And it was crazy because he knew I was going to be playing him next, or the other dude. So like, I was like, oh, like, I thought this dude wouldn't even, give me the time of day because we're both here for a job and we're both here to, finish his business. But even after the game too, just showing mad love and support too. I can't thank Eugene enough just for all the advice that he was giving me too, and telling me about his whole entire career too. He's a great dude. And I'm looking forward to meeting back up with him this summer.
Definitely. Got to get him on the show. He's a Lincoln guy. Stand-up brother. Plays hard as
I mean, I know I lost to Leaky in the championship. Was obviously a tough game. He's a tough dude to guard, a great competitor, but he just brought the best out of me, Eugene. I know the shot I hit on I hit on him at the end. He actually tipped the ball, so I had to like double pump, and the ball was like spinning around in my hands when I went up. So I was like, and there was only 16 seconds left on the clock, and I was down 1. So I was like, all right, I gotta live and die by this. But that was just a crazy shot. And he said to me right after, he's like, I tipped that shit. I was like, yeah.
Yo, but the same similar shot you had against the other games, I was just like,
yeah.
I didn't listen. You see guys can shoot, but guys playing defense on you. It's not like you getting open shots.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like
all the finalists on Sunday learned my game from Saturday because so I was 4-2 going into my last game on Saturday, and the last guy I played, he was also undefeated that whole entire day. So it was either I win or I know I'm going home. And I had another tough shot versus him, and that was when a lot of people were crowded watching the game. So I think all the finalists started to like learn, what my game was like and what I was doing. And I would say Gene probably guarded me the best out of everyone, honestly.
He makes it hard for you. He makes it hard for everyone.
And like even the time, like he blocked me like 3 times when I was in the lane. Like one of my, moves that I go off a lot is my spin move in the lane. And like as soon as I did it, he just slapped the ball out of my hands. I was all right, this is gonna be a tough one. This is definitely gonna be a tough one.
Oh man.
Shout out Gino, man. He's a great dude. He was just all the love and support he showed me at the end too, man. Just super, a great man. Dude.
Super. Yeah, I'm gonna be interviewing Leaky Roof this Friday.
Yes, sir.
He's coming.
I got to chop.
Studio.
Yeah, I got to chop it up with Leaky after, and just with this whole entire fraternity of basketball, I'm so happy for his, his family and his beautiful daughter that he had there too. He was emotional after it too. And, I knew I had the chance. I had the opportunity now to compete for something even bigger with him. So it was nothing but love after, nothing but respect. Shout out Leaky though. That was the first time I've even heard about him. And then after the game, I started looking at this dude's social media and just like his career path. Like this dude's a dog. Like one of the best New York City players out there right now for sure. He's a great competitor, great dude too, and I was very happy for his family and his daughter too. You know, I know he was very emotional about that, and he earned it. He absolutely earned it.
And for you guys' paths, right? You guys
similar
paths. Yours was with injury. His was not staying in school, but for so long because
the
conflict with him in the schools.
Yeah, he was telling me about that. You know, I don't want to say nothing bad about, you know, his coaches or whatever, but like I wish his junior college coach stayed with him and just I don't know, just gave him a little bit like, you know, more opportunity or just like show him a little bit more love. But just like what he was telling me, I'm like, that's insane. You know, I'm not gonna like, you know, say his business or anything out there, but like just what he was telling me, I'm like, that's insane. Like you're one of the toughest players I've ever played against. Like on some of his shots that I was trying to guard him on, I'm like right there, and he still just like was so smooth with it. And like anytime I beat him to a spot too, it's like he had an alternate move like right there. I'm like, I was definitely a little tired at the end, but it was just like it was so hard to guard him though.
His counters is crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, his counters is crazy.
Because I would literally beat him to a spot, and I'm like, all right, I'm good. Like he's gonna like take a little like floater fade away, or he's gonna take a little pull up. Nah, he had a quick counter right away. I'm like, hey man, it's one of those days.
Listen, the legendary New York City legend and Missouri legend and Houston Rockets great, Derek Chivas hit me up and was like, yo, did that guy still got eligibility?
Yeah.
I'll get him in Missouri, right? It was just that crazy, man.
Yeah.
But it just showed you just all the attention that guys can garner just from those moments like that. And Tracy McGrady, salute to Tracy McGrady for everything you're doing for these guys and the platform that you're giving them.
Shout out Tracy, man.
This is super, man. Super.
This is awesome. He was telling me he's trying to get this in the Olympics soon. He's trying to get this as an all-star event. I know he's going to have this on the girls' side next year. I know all the time and like the money he's invested into it. And I know he's super serious about this. So, you know, I can only see this getting like bigger and bigger year by year. Like next year is going to be crazy because like everyone's really starting to see what this league's about. Next year is going to be insane.
Next year, and you're gonna be a veteran, and you're still young, so it's not you can be around for a minute, right, to keep this going. So.
Exactly. No, I'm super thankful they gave me that opportunity. Like I said, they told me like a week before that when the tournament was gonna happen, so I was like, all right, I'm not missing this. Like, and I thought this was like, you know, my last go-to. Because that's just where I was at a point in my life with basketball. I was like, you know, I'm hoping for the best, but if it doesn't go that way, you know, I think it might be time to move on. But you know, thankfully, you know, I was prepared and I was ready and I handled business and you know, I did what I had to do, and I couldn't have asked for anything better besides winning a championship. But you know, it was still great though.
Definitely.
I'm super blessed for that opportunity.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. If you could change anything, right? If you could change anything about your career, what would have it been?
Definitely injuries are one part, obviously, but winning the NEC to go to March Madness, you know, I had a list written out of goals of what I wanted to achieve in basketball, and up until that point, I really achieved everything I wanted to, and that was one of my biggest goals is getting to March Madness. And you know, unfortunately, that just didn't happen, and I just feel like I wasn't able to give it all that I wanted to out there to really compete for that. Just, you know, based off what I was dealing off the court with injuries, but that would definitely be the one thing. I always wanted to be on that big stage and play in front of the whole entire world. That was a big deal to me. But you life goes on though. I know a lot of other people have had that same, goal as me. So, just got to move on from stuff like that.
That's real, man. That's real. So we're about to wrap this thing up. But before, we got to get into our top five. All right? So some people say this is the hardest part of the show. May get you in some trouble, but it's all in good fun. All right?
All right.
So our first one is, who are your top 5 players from Troy High School? No subs. 5.
Got you. Tiki for sure. Tiki's number 1. 2, Javion. I got to play with him my last I only got to play with him 1 year, but definitely Javion. Tremere Burrell. He was a senior when I was a freshman there, and he was just that dude. Got to it every single time he stepped on the court. Had Big Ten offers from the MAC, American East. Definitely Tremere. Shadell Millinghouse. Shadell was only there for 1 year, but I watched him a lot when I was in 7th grade. When I wasn't even at Troy, but they were so hyped up that I went to all their games. So that's 4. My 5th would definitely probably have to be my backcourt dude, Dyer for sure. Dyer was just that guy around here at such a young age, had so much going for himself. Unfortunately, things didn't happen the way he wanted it to, but he was just such a dog at such a young age and worked so hard at such a young age. So definitely Dyer's got to be in there as well.
It's a solid 5, man.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Top 5 players you played against.
God, this one's gonna be hard. This is a no order, but for sure Joe Cremo. 2, Chashawn Burrell. Chashawn, you probably know him, Tom Shep. He was the MVP at Dykeman a couple years ago.
Facts.
Chashawn, he's over. I forget what country he's in right now, but he's been back and forth to countries, and Chashawn's just been a dog since he was in 6th grade. Just has never lost it at all. I would say Charlie Brown from my prep school. He was just one of those dudes. It was just so tough to guard him every single day. He was 6'7", lanky as hell, could shoot the ball, was a freak athlete. He was just even when you're playing your best defense, that's still not good enough. Alonzo Trier from Arizona. I played in my freshman year. He was just a bucket. Got to it. Number 5. I would say at a very young age, Thon Maker. He was just that dude when he was little. I know he was bigger than everyone, but he had that skill set too that a lot of people really haven't seen, at that young age. He was a legit 7-footer that could shoot and could dribble the ball and really did anything he wanted. So,
wow, Thon Maker.
Yeah, man.
Where's he at? Is he still in the league?
I'm not sure, honestly. I'm really not sure. I hope he's still hooping now. I know his little brother's actually really good. I'm not sure what year he is in high school now, but I know his little brother's super tough.
Oh, okay. All right. Top 5 sneakers to play in.
So I had to go to Adidas when I was in college. Adidas is not on there. Adidas is definitely not on there at all. The gear we got and everything was awesome, but just the shoes, I don't know. It was always the lower body injury for me. So I'm sorry, Adidas. I can't show you no love. I wore Kobe's all the time in high school. Kobe's was like my go-to. I wore Space Jams in a couple games. I wore a couple pairs of 12s in high school. I wasn't really like that big into sneakers in high school, but those are probably my three main ones though. A lot of Kobe's though. Kobe's all it's Kyrie's I like playing in
I
high
was gonna
school
say,
too.
yes.
They
And
were
what are you
just
wearing today? What are you wearing today?
Well, I still have my old Adidas shoes, but now I think well, you can't get Kobe's anymore though, unfortunately. Yeah, no, I still haven't went out and bought like a pair of Nikes, but that's definitely happening before I go out to Vegas for the finals.
Nice.
So, but yeah, no, Adidas just they can't make that list though.
Nah,
Definitely
I get you.
can't make that list. All
Got
love those Adidas. Sorry.
So we're gonna wrap this up with top 5 players from the upstate area.
Ooh. This is in no order, but Tiki again. Jimmer Fredette. I gotta go with my guy Kevin Herter on the Hawks too right now. There ain't nobody around here that's had a Game 7 performance like he did last year. I forget what team it was, but I think he had like 27, 28 was the leading scorer that game in a Game 7 to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. So yeah, Kevin's definitely making my top 5. So I said Taylor, Tiki, Kevin. Did I say Jimmer?
Yep, you said Jimmer. Jimmer. Mm-hmm.
So Taylor bowed to Taylor has like all the Big Ten records still to this day, points, rebounds, and assists for point guard at least. I think he had over 2,000 points, over 700 assists, and like 500 rebounds. Like his stats at Penn State were just
sick,
absurd, crazy. I used to go to all his games too. His last couple of years, I always made that trip out with my coach to go watch him play because my coach at high school coached him in high school as well. But who am I thinking? Who am I missing?
One more. That's it.
Dev Diaz. I don't know if you remember Dev Diaz. He played at Albany, and then I believe he went to Miami, and he was a St. Thomas More product too. But in high school, he went to like all the like big prospect camps. He was a top 100 player in the country. But yeah, Dev Diaz. If you have a chance out of this, look him up. He's that dude around here.
Definitely. Well, listen. Now that you've been on the show, you can nominate anyone to be on the show. So you can nominate as many people you want. I definitely need more people from the upstate area to be representing on this podcast so people can understand the power in New York basketball. I know we said the official home of New York City, right? Because that's how the world sees us. But I said, you know what? We're going to stop competing with the rest of the states with just our one city, right? Like they put their whole state against us 5 boroughs, not knowing we got all of Long Island and all of our state, and we smash. We still smash. I don't care what anybody said.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yeah, no.
This is how we got to represent.
I think upstate New York basketball certainly now is starting to like really get that recognition, especially from the Albany, Schenectady, and Troy area too. There's always at least 3 or 4 dudes every year that are playing at the Division I level, and there's several playing at the Division II and Division III level too. You know, that's one thing with me too. For a lot of these high school dudes, I wish they would just go and watch a Division III practice. Like these dudes are dogs out here. Like they can really hoop, and a lot of those top dudes in the Division III and Division II level, that didn't, maybe not make Division I level. It's just because they didn't get that opportunity or they didn't have, those resources that a lot of people did. So, I really wish a lot of these high school kids now weren't, didn't look so down at the Division III and Division II level, because there's Division III teams that would easily beat some Division I teams right now. It's just the truth.
Listen, they're going to have to look to Division II and Division III.
Yeah, especially now. Yeah.
These coaches are not taking these kids young. And now the transfer portal got like 400 or 500 guys who stuck, who can't go anywhere. Where you think they're going?
It's crazy. But I just wish they really just look into some research into it, looked at their games. But yeah, man, I hope some of these dudes just like have those right people around them. And with basketball now too, like back in the day, when I was in high school, I'm sure you can say this too, like it was hard to just get a highlight tape. You know what I mean? So now these dudes just go to AU tournament, their highlight tape is done as soon as they get home and it's out on social media. So like now, like you have all the resources like in the world.
We didn't have any. First of all, there was no sending out no highlight tape. If no one didn't see you, they just didn't see you. That's just what it was. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. As far as now, they having all the resources, they should take advantage of it.
Yeah, and and if you're good enough now, they'll find you. Like just somebody right now in the NBA Finals, Derek White. He was hooping at Division II school for 3 years.
That's right.
And then he went to Colorado. He's making a name for himself now. That's just an example though. But yeah, no, if you're good enough now, they'll find you. There's no way they can't find you now. Like if you do something crazy, if you have a little viral moment, they're going to find you. There's no doubt about it.
Well, I'm definitely going to put the good word out on you, man. My guy, salute to my guy, Sam Graham over in the Netherlands. He's an international basketball star out there. He's from New York City. And, he's looking for some good guys to come over there and find jobs, man. He'll be here this summer. We're going to hang out. And I'm definitely going to.
It looks like I'm going to be in New York City all summer.
I'm going to see you some more. But I'm definitely going to. You're definitely one of the guys who
Yeah, after T-Max thing, all the people I've talked to, I know I'm playing in Zone 6.
Woo! I was out there the other night. If you saw my post, it was sick out there. Salute to my guy, Isaiah Wilkinson, Zay Station, tore it up on the first night.
Yeah, I actually saw that you posted that. Girth Park, I'm playing in.
Gersh, yep. I'll be there. Salute to my guy.
Nike Pro City.
DP, yep.
And then I think a guy that's running a team in Dykeman wants me to come too. So I know I'm going to be in New York City.
That's my guy, Ken Stevens.
Which I'm super happy about. So get to be in New York City all summer. I can't wait.
Just hit me up. If I can't make the game, just at least hit me up because I'll make it to one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? We're locked in now, man. I really appreciate this opportunity. Just, being able to talk on this and, just share my story. It's just people like you that, give me a platform like this. And, it means the world to me. And I really appreciate it.
No doubt, man. You share the same platform with Ross Strickland, Kenny Anderson, Rolando Blackman, Jerry Ice Reynolds, Charlie Scott. And that's just to name a few, bro. You know what I'm saying? So keep doing what you're doing. We're going to be watching out for you. Remember, you have someone to nominate to come on the show. So I want you to think about who you're going to nominate and then hit me up, text me. We got the numbers. Let's keep the phone lines open.
Absolutely, man. No doubt. I got you.
No doubt, brother. You're inspiring, man. Keep doing what you're doing. And salute. Tell your family I said hello. And, tell Mom she did a great job with you. Thanks, Mom.
Thank you, man. She's watching this right now, so she's seen it all.
For sure. All right, brother.
All right, man. All love. Appreciate it.
No doubt. Listen, when we talked about someone overcoming obstacles, you kids can't give up on yourself. No matter what's going on, and when you have the odds against you, you still got to keep fighting. That's what my guy Zack Radz did. He kept fighting. He kept pushing. He knew one day he was going to be on the stage of greatness. He didn't know when. And you never going to know when. You never going to know when your time is called. You never going to know when. But when that call happens, you got to pick up. You got to pick up. Sometimes it's the Most High that's going to tap you on the shoulder and say, young man, young lady, it's time. It's time to shine. And when he got on that stage, that's what he did. He shined like the sun. And now, everybody's picking up the phone again. And they calling him out. Come on, play. Come give us some game. And I know it's all going to add up when he gets out to Las Vegas and show the whole world what he's made of. This is just the beginning. So you kids out there, you may be struggling. The odds may be against you, but never give up. Use my guy Zack Radz as an example to never give up. Keep fighting, keep pushing. Well, I'm about to get out of here. I am your host, Glenn Pooh Harding, and you've been watching Basketball Heads Live, the official home for New York City basketball. Peace.